Goed, julle, kom ons kyk dan gou na 10 haikoes vir die Vredefort koepels, addisionele notas. There's a lot of stuff in here that we're not really going to pay attention to because it's really not, wow. Okay, so this is what we are talking about, Vredefort koepel, this crater that is left there. Achtergrond, as you see, there's a lot of information here. I was kind enough to translate everything for you, so I'm not going to read through it. The gist of it is just talking about 2005 UNESCO that declared the Vredefort Dome as a World Heritage Site, the size of it, how it was created, and then it talks about how life was destroyed. Through the centuries, new life arose. Today the air is polluted. Developers want to do this and that and the other. So all of this we have discussed in the notes previously, so you can just have a look at that. Nou, as ons kyk na die bou van die gedig, die uiterlike bou, haiku is 'n eenvoudige liriese Japaneese digvorm uit die 13de eeu. So haiku is a simple lyrical Japanese poetry form from the 13th century. Dit spreek die leser se emosies aan en daar word baie gesê met min woorde. So a lot is being said with very few words. Dit is rymloos en dit bestaan uit 3 versreëls en 17 lettergrepe. It's without rhyme and it contains 3 lines with 17 syllables. So line 1, 5 syllables, line 2, 7, and line 5 syllables again. Goed, verder het ons die innerlike bou, so die storie van die ontstaan van die Vredefort koepel word vergelyk met die skepingsverhaal. So the story about the creation or the coming to be of the Vredefort koepel is compared to the creation story from the Bible. Die storie van die mens word in haiku 6 bygebring, so the story of man gets brought into haiku 6. Die mens is op die 6de dag geskape, man is created on the 6th day. Die mense het 'n invloed op die skepping, so people have an influence on the creation, which is mentioned from haiku 7 to haiku 9, en in die laaste haiku is dit 'n voorspelling van wat moontlik sal gebeur as die mens nie meer op die aarde is nie. So haiku 10 is a prediction of what could happen possibly when people are no longer on the earth. Goed, die titel van die gedig. Die titel van elke gedig kondig die opeenvolgende fase van die koepel aan. Elke haiku het ook sy eie titel en vertel watter aspek behandel word. So the title of each poem then indicates the happening in the next phase, what will happen in the next phase, and then each haiku's title is then also furtherly explaining what aspect is being touched on in that specific poem. Goed, so the thema, die natuur en die mens se impak op die natuur. So the theme is nature and people's influence on nature. This is then the poem. This is an English translation. If it's going to help, please read it. And then we start with Meteoriet. Okay, so deur die donker klief, if we're looking at the word klief, die val van die meteoriet word as gewelddadig beskryf deur die gebruik van die woord klief, to cleave. I always think of the word klief as this type of knife, a cleaver that you have to use force to get through that chicken bone or whatever the case might be. And this is exactly what this fist of rock has done. It went with force and it hit the earth. Gewelddadig means it is dangerous, it is forceful, that kind of thing. And we have a lot of alliteration of the D and K sounds. So die skepping van die Vredefort koepel word hier genoem. So the creation of the Vredefort koepel is mentioned here. Die meteoriet het tydens die val alle lewe uit die aarde geklap, so the meteorite smacked all life out of the earth, en het verwys ook na die begin van nuwe lewe. It also refers to the starting of new life because of everything that was destroyed. Okay? Wind, we have weer alliterasie and the niet-skepping of winternis. We spoke about that. It's using the word winter in duisternis, and it indicates there that everything was dark, alles was donker op die aarde, en as gevolg daarvan het die aarde in 'n winterstoestand ontaard. So everything was in a wintry state because it was cold and dark. Hierdie verwys ook na die skepping van die dag en nag, die asem of die wind. Dit kan as die tweede dag van die skepping beskou word, lig en duisternis word geskep. Dit jaag die winternis of dit wat soos winter is, weg. So, this also refers to the creation of day and night, the asem or the wind. This could also then be the second day of creation where light and darkness was created. This wind is chasing away the winternis. Dit jaag die winternis weg. It chased away this situation like winter. Yslik, we spoke about as well, verwys na die koue nagte, the cold nights, but that it was also long nights, lang nagte. Now, we come to this crazy thing again. Water, we said the S alliteration, so die water was skoon, maar hier verstomde die spreker skoon. So water washes something clean, but here it completely stuns the speaker. Okay? So the speaker is completely stunned by the water. Die spreker gebruik woorde om homself uit te druk, maar die water maak sonder droë woorde sin. So the speaker is trying to express the majesty of the water, but its majesty is already so clear without him having to explain. Die water is dus meer sinvol as die persoon wat die woorde gebruik. So the water is thus more meaningful than the person that is trying to use the words to express that. Daar is ook kontras in. There's also contrast. Die water teenoor die droë woorde, the water against the dry words. The jy, we said, is personification, want die water word direk aangespreek. The water is spoken to directly. En die kosbaarheid van die water word met die woord silwer opgesluit. Dit sê ook hoe die water lyk. So the value of the water is then also in the word silver. It tells us it's very valuable, and it also tells us what the water looks like. Goed. Vang reën en son in die bakkant van jou lyf. Bakkant is that image of two hands being together. And then we have KL alliterasie. We spoke about kliphart, woordspeling there. Kliphart is die intensiewe vorm van hart. Die mense se hart het soos klip geword. So here, play on words. Kliphart is an intensive form of the word heart, just with the D. But here it could mean that people's hearts have become like rock. Dit kan ook na die nuwe lewe wat in die hart van die koepel begin het verwys. It could also refer to new life that started to grow in the heart of the koepel. Hier word verwys na die holte in die grond nadat die meteoriet die aarde getref het. Die holte is bakkant asof die aarde bedel. Die aarde word die lyf en die holte is die bakkant. Hier is die eerste tekens van lewe nadat die meteoriet die aarde getref het. So here, the earth is referred to as a hollow, or the hollow area, and the ground, or in the ground after the meteorite has hit the earth. Die holte, this hollow, is then also die bakkant, this cupped hands that is there, as if the earth is begging. Die aarde word die lyf en die holte is die bakkant. So now the earth becomes the body and the bakkant becomes this hollow that the meteorite has created. And also in this we see the first signs of life after the meteorite has hit the earth. Bakkant kan dan ook gesien word as personifikasie. Okay, so we can see the bakkant as personification. Want die aarde word vergelyk met iemand wat bedel. The earth is compared to someone who is begging. And it can be a metaphor because die vorm van die krater word direk vergelyk met iemand wat bak staan. So it refers to someone who is standing with their hands cupped like this. Therefore, it is then a metaphor. It doesn't say soos 'n bakhand. It says bakhand, which refers to it directly. Therefore, metaphor. Goed. Dan boom. Personifikasie van die takke, kul takke, that is personification because kul means coat of sonder gevoel, without feeling. Die boom is die teken van lewe, so a tree is the sign of life, maar daar is nou nie meer net wind, water en grond nie, maar die lewe kom nou uit die aarde uit. So now there is no longer just wind, water and ground, but life itself is coming out of the earth now. And this describes basically the seasons autumn, winter, and spring. 6 mens. So toe staan stof uit stof, the ST alliteration. Hierdie is 'n verwysing na die voorspelling in die laaste haiku. So this is a reference of what is going to happen. So it's a prediction of what will happen in the last haiku. If we look at Genesis 2 vers 7 en Genesis 1 vers 26, die intertext verwys na die ander tekste of verwys na 'n ander teks, in die geval die Bybel, sonder om dit direk aan te haal. So it's a reference to another text without quoting that text directly. So God het die mens op die 6de dag geskape. God created man on the 6th day. Die mens was stof uit stof. So people were dust from dust. Die mense is uit stof gemaak. People are made of dust. Maar heers oor die grond waarvan hulle gemaak is. But now rules over the ground from which they are made. This is ironic. Okay? Because you are that which you are ruling over. Eintlik is die mens net grond en dieselfde as die grond, maar die mens speel tog baas. So actually, people are part of the ground and is the same as the ground, but they are acting as if they are the boss of the ground. Wêrelderfenis, M-alliterasie. Die Vredefortkoepel is 'n wêrelderfenisterrein, maar die mens vernietig dit. Okay, so Vredefortkoepel is a World Heritage Site, but people are destroying that. Ons verwys dat die koepel aan almal behoort. Ons refers to the fact that the koepel refers to everyone. Okay? Die verkeerde spelling van mensdom verwys na die dwaasheid van die mens. So the wrong spelling of the word mensdom refers to, of mankind rather, refers to the stupidity of man. En dit is dan 'n woordspeling, net a play on words. Then we come to besoedeling. Nou moet dier en duif, heers van rook en roet, verbyl en treksaag boet. This is 3 types of alliteration. Die D-alliterasie, die R-alliterasie en die B-alliterasie. Tongue twister there. Goed, besoedeling is die gevolg van die mense domheid. So, pollution is the result of man's stupidity. Die diere dra die gevolg, want die mens het die omgewing met byl en treksaag vernietig. So, animals are paying for this stupidity, this pollution, because man has destroyed the environment with their axes and their saws and all of those things. Dier en duif, we said, refers to nature. Rook en roet refers to the besoedeling, the pollution. Byl en treksaag is die aksie wat besoedeling veroorsaak. Byl en treksaag, axe and saw is the actions that cause pollution. En die woord boet beteken om te betaal of gestraf te word vir wat gedoen is. So the word boet means to pay or to be punished for that which was done. Then we come to Dankgebed. So here we say, hier word met God direk gepraat. We are talking directly to God here because of the word here. Then uitgeteer, as you see, there's a little bit of a different color. It says the following. Die mens se invloed op die omgewing word beskryf in die teerpaaie en die brûe wat deur die mens gebou is. Dit kontrasteer met die natuur, die water wat steeds loop onder deur die paaie en die brûe. Daar is 'n konnotatiewe of 'n figuurlike betekenis van uitgeteer wat sê die mens is geestelik verhonger. Hierdie pas in by die idee van paaie, want paaie kan letterlik na die paaie verwys wat die mens bou, maar ook na die pad wat elkeen saam met of elkeen van ons met God stap. So, people's influence on the environment is being described through tar roads and bridges, unnatural things and man-made things that is built through man. This is then in contrast with nature. The water is still running underneath the roads and the bridges. The connotative or the figurative meaning of the word uitgeteer is people are spiritually hungry. They are starving spiritually. This then also fits in with the idea of the roads, because roads can literally refer to roads that people build, or it can refer to the road that each of us walks with God. And then we come to Tien. Face van swaal en vuur, V-alliterasie, the V-alliteration. Now, a voorspelling word gemaak, so a prediction is made. So Sodom en Gomorra vernietig is, so sal die aarde ook vernietig word. As Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, so too the earth will be destroyed. Goddelike ingryping, the godly intercession here, die vuis van swaal en vuur, kan verwys na Sodom en Gomorrah se val. So the fist of brimstone and fire could refer to Sodom and Gomorrah's fall. Hierdie is deur swaal en vuur vernietig, soos dit staan in Lukas 17 vers 29 tot 30. So the intertext there of Lukas 17 verse 29 to 30 explains to us how this fall of Sodom and Gomorrah happened. Dit kan weer gebeur. This can happen again, want die mens het gesondig teen die aarde, because people have sinned against the earth. Die sirkel vernietiging gebeur, soos die skepping gebeur het, met iets wat uit die lug val, is voltooi. So the circle is complete, because just as the creation happened by something falling out of the sky, destroying everything and life starting again, so too does it get destroyed by something that falls out of the sky. As die mens dood is, sal daar nuwe lewe begin. When man is dead, new life will begin, and that we see through the word asemhaal, wat sê die aarde sal nog 'n kans hê om te begin. Die woordspeling in asemhaal is omdat dit gewoonlik as een woord geskryf is, meaning to breathe, en hier staan dit nou as twee, meaning if we translate it, it will mean to fetch breath. Okay? So it will get a second chance. En dit is die verduideliking dan van hierdie gedig. I say again, we will explain this again in class. Do not stress about this one. It's not that difficult once you get the gist of it. Okay? And generally they ask very simple questions on this one, so don't stress too much. Okay. Start the julle. We're not going to do questions and answers.